at the 20-yard line, Al Washington, backup linebacker, leading the Jet charge. So the Giants first down at the 20-yard line. And a look at that Giant offensive unit. Phil Simms, who has clicked on 55% of his passes. Leon Bright, Rob Carpenter, who has helped turn things around. Johnny Perkins, who was a question mark in the starting lineup. Brad Benson, Gordon King at the tackle. J.T. Turner, Roy Simmons at the guards. The center is Ernie Hughes. Carpenter, a 5-yard pickup. It'll be a 2nd and 5. Lance Mel making the stop.
Number 30, Perry, was in the running back position instead of Bright.
And a look at the Jet defensive unit. Bobby Jackson, Jerry Holmes at the corners. And they have flip-flop. Jackson has been in and out of the lineup. Simms to throw on 2nd down. Johnny Perkins for a first down. Bobby Jackson coming up from left corner to make the stop. Phil Simms, who hit 19 of 32 for 256 yards in that overtime victory over Atlanta last week.
Marv, a lot of the players were playing this game down, saying it's just another ball game, but it definitely is not.
First and 10 at the 39-yard line, and Carpenter with a short gain. Ben Rudolph, the rookie out of Long Beach State, a 3rd-round draft pick, replacing the injured Marty Lyons, making the stop.
I just mentioned in the pregame show that with Ben Rudolph, 76, a rookie, playing in place of Marty Lyons, Joe Klecko having a foot problem, that the Giants, if they're going to test an area, they're going to test that right side of the defense of the New York Jets. That time the Jets stopped them.
There's Marty Lyons, who is out with a pulled hamstring, and they miss next week. 2nd and 9. Jet rush. Simms able to get it away. Gary Shirk, the tight end, could not hang on.
Simms got that ball off, but he did have pretty good protection from that offensive line, giving him time, and the ball was there. 87. Shirk should have held on.
The Giants have won 3-0. Have won the last 3 in a row. They lost to Philadelphia to open the season, then beat Washington and New Orleans. Lost in Dallas, but played well. Lost to Green Bay, that raised some questions. Giants bouncing back by walloping St. Louis and then Seattle, and last week a credibility victory over Atlanta. 3rd down and 9. The swing for Carpenter. So the Jets stopping this first Giant drive. Greg Buttle.
Simms is hurt. You take a look at the field. Gastineau is out there with him. Gastineau really put a lot of pressure on him. He is hobbling about. The one fortunate thing is still on his feet, and he's able to move around. But the 3rd down situation, he was going to leave anyway, but it looks like he's all right. Here it is. Simms going back in the pocket. Number 11. Look at the pressure that 99 Gastineau is putting on him. He gets rid of the ball to Carpenter. He has to, because he doesn't have time to wait around to look downfield and into the other receivers. The Jets stop them, forcing New York Giants to put the ball in the air with a punt.
Dave Jennings, 2nd in punting in the NFC. Bruce Hopper. Penalty marker is down. Nice return by Hopper out near the 35-yard line. Harry Carson in on the tackle. A 40-yard punt by Jennings and a 13-yard return. The New York Jets will go to work for the first time.
Offense, illegal man downfield, number 59. Decline the penalty. First down.
Referee Ben Dreith saying Ed McGlasson was downfield too quickly, but the penalty declined as you look at that Jet offensive unit. Chris Ward and Gary Jeter have had some battles during the course of preseason. Todd to throw on first down. Beautifully diagnosed by Terry Jackson.
No huddle. Look at this. The Jets did come up with something new. They called 2 plays on the sidelines. Full backfield. 3 backs in the backfield.
Jets trying to catch the Giants off guard. This is Mike Augustiniak. And he picks up the first down. Brian Kelly, Bill Courier combined to make the stop. And the Jets have a first down at the 49-yard line. Now let's continue with the defensive alignment. The excellent core of linebackers we talked about before the game. And in the backfield for the Giants defensively, Mark Haynes, who has bounced back after disappointing rookie season. He and Terry Jackson at the corners. Reese and Courier are the deep men. Stopped at the line of scrimmage by number 76, the left defensive end, Curtis McGriff.
You notice the Jets came out with something new. 76, McGriff, defensive left end. He'll come out of there a lot of times, or he'll move over when George Martin comes in a passing situation. The Giants want togetherness. All right, you get Phil Simms is moving around on the sidelines. I'm sure that he's going to be all right behind the ball game.
New York Jets, third in the AFC in rushing, have a 2nd and 9. That's Durkee in motion. Intended for Wesley Walker.
Yes, and he had Wesley Walker open. He just threw the ball too wide. Walker was there. He was in front of his man, and he was open. In order for the Jets to win today, Richard Todd is going to have a good, consistent day. Number 85, Wesley Walker. Ball is just simply overthrown. I know one thing that Richard Todd does not want to do at this stage of the game is throw it too short and have a linebacker pick it off.
And he has a 3rd and 9. Bobby Jones out to the left side. Wesley Walker to the right. Todd with time. Intended for Walker with the left corner. Mark Haynes covering on the play. And the crowd providing an ovation for the Giants defensive unit.
As I said before, don't tell me this is just another ball game. This is, they say, for the bragging rights of New York.
The punt by Ramsey. Alvin Garrett with the fair catch. And so the Giants will take over a 41-yard punt by Chuck Ramsey. And we're early first quarter with no score. Back at Giants Stadium, Marv Albert and Len Dawson following the 41-yard punt by Chuck Ramsey. The Giants take over 1st and 10 at their 9-yard line. Len, the Giants have been a very poor first quarter team. They have scored only 6 points over their first 8 games.
And field position is so important in a football game. It's good to see that Phil Simms is back in the ball game. And he's going to put it up in the air right away.
For Leon Bright. Driven out across the 15-yard line. In the first quarter, Houston Oilers leading the Cincinnati Bengals 7-0.
Houston certainly has been an up-and-down team this year. So have the Jets, though, as far as that. And I'm surprised to see Phil Simms throw the ball when he was hobbling off the field on the 9-yard line, but shows you how tough that young man is.
And he now has a 2nd and 4. Again, sideline. And it's incomplete. Mike Frady ruled out of bounds. Covered by the strong safety Ken Schroy. So it'll be 3rd down and 4 for the Giants. But right now, an NFL update. Let's go to Byron Day.
Okay, Mark, you just mentioned the score. Here's the way it looked. Kenny Stabler connecting on a 25-yard touchdown pass to Mike Renfro. Houston now in the lead, 7-0 early in the first half. Let's go back now to Marv Albert and Len Dawson.
Thank you, Byron. Phil Simms, 3 of 5 thus far, 17 yards, has a 3rd and 4 at the 16. after taking a punt. Bobby Jackson, the left cornerback, with a good rip on Rob Carpenter, so Dave Jennings will come on for the second time.
Well, I can assure you that 26 Rob Carpenter is getting the attention of the New York Jets. This is really a good shot by number 40, Bobby Jackson. Had he caught the football, he really wasn't deep enough to come up with a first down.
Here's Dave Jennings. Bruce Hopper. Penalty markers down. And Hopper returns inside the 45-yard line. Byron Hunt able to bring him down.
It's amazing how when the flags go down, both sides start pointing to one another. But it's the men in the striped shirts that make the final decision. Ben Dreith, referee in this ball game today.
Illegal man downfield on the offense. On a receiving team, illegal block. We're going to offset him and play it over.
So it is a do-over, and you can scratch the 44-yard punt by Jennings and a 19-yard return by Hopper. There's an old buddy of yours, offensive coordinator Joe Walton, one-time roommate of yours.
Yeah, he and I roomed together in Chicago at the College All-Star game. I asked him, I said, did any of your players ever question whether you ever played the game? Because he's not a real tall person. And he said, you know, they think that I did a little shrinking after I got through playing. But Walt Michaels, that's another ex-teammate of mine when he was with the Cleveland Browns.
Very wise of receiver to room with quarterback at All-Star game. Jennings from his 1-yard line. He was a busy man last week. 11 punts against the Atlanta Falcons. This time a line drive kick. And here's Hopper to the 45. Nowhere. Good coverage by Byron Hunt once again. And so the Jets will take over. And as we will do during the course of this afternoon, we shall flash back to great days of Giant and Jet history. Match would be categorized as a feeling out opening round.
Yeah, they know that there's 15 rounds to go. This is the championship match, too, because it's for the bragging rights of New York City. Both teams are rather tight right now, but I'm sure that they're going to loosen up.
47-yard punt by Jennings, the 7-yard return, making for the first down for the Jets at their 44-yard line. Second back coming through Scott Durking with a short pickup. Scott Durking in his 5th year out of Purdue, stopped by the inside linebackers, Harry Carson, Brian Kelly. It'll be a 2nd and 7 for the New York Jets.
The New York Jets are going to run the ball, but I think they're going to have to be able to throw the football to defeat the New York Giants, because with that 3-4 defense, you're looking at Joe Walton, the offensive coordinator, who's calling the plays for the New York Jets this afternoon. They're going to have to throw the ball to beat them.
Todd hits Augustiniak out there at midfield, but again, a very short pickup. Kelly and Carson were right there.
And that time, number 10, Brad Van Pelt, was blitzing from his outside linebacking position. With a 3-4 defense, you're going to see a lot of that by the Giants today. And a lot of times, it's going to be that young rookie linebacker, number 56, Lawrence Taylor. He'll be blitzing, and one of the reasons is because he's not accustomed to the passing game like a Van Pelt is. So he's young and strong. They turn him loose in a passing situation.
All right, Len Todd is 3 of 5 to this point. He is third and 4 in front of him. Right it down. George Martin, who is at his best in the pass rush situation, getting a hand on the football.
I said that the Jets are going to have to throw the ball to be able to defeat the Giants. In order to throw the ball, you've got to have time to throw. There is pressure coming in 75 and also 53 as a linebacker, Harry Carson, right in Todd's face. He really didn't have a chance to let the pass pattern develop.
There's Chuck Ramsey, who punted earlier for 41 yards. Alvin Garrett is back. Big rush, and Ramsey very fortunate to get it away. But it'll come out to the 20. where the Giants will take over. A 51-yard punt by Ramsey that nearly was blocked.
And he's fortunate to get it away, because you're going to see coming into your picture New York Giant almost in a position to make the block. We're going to be back in just a moment.
Thanks for the welcome. And we are among a crowd of 77,000 here at Giant Stadium. As we mentioned earlier, it has been the hottest ticket in town for many weeks as the Giants take over at their 20-yard line. Gary Shirk, the tight end, refusing to go down. Bobby Jackson took him out of bounds.
Giants got into a double tight offensive formation that time. Just sent the tight end out in the flat, got the ball to him. And he's done a fine job. He's got 30 receptions so far this year. Sims rolling out just a little bit to his right, and this is a possession-type first down play. It should be a very high percentage play, because you should be able to get the ball out to that man. You're only throwing it about 12 yards.
Carpenter on the 2nd and 3 is stopped. Rob Carpenter, the lone deep back, stopped by the rookie right defensive tackle, Ben Rudolph.
Jets have defensively done a very good job. The Giants have only run a couple of times. They went at the right side of that Jet line, but they have not made any yardage so far. Here's the score, first quarter. Atlanta leading New Orleans 3-0. Chicago leading Tampa Bay 3-0 in the first quarter.
And it's a 3rd and 3 for the Giants. Leon Bright, Rob Carpenter now the running backs. Johnny Perkins is slot left. Lots of time. Sims in trouble, and the whistle was blown. It is ruled a sack for Joe Klecko.
He had a lot of time, really, to get rid of that football, and had he had just a split second longer, he had it back wide open downfield.
The Jets now with their 28th sack. They are second in the National Football League, right behind Oakland. So Klecko makes the play and then comes limping off the field, which has been his style.
I don't know how he does it. They put his foot in a cast after the ball game, and it's just that he has a great endurance for pain, I guess.
And the kick by Jennings, taken by Bruce Hopper. Hopper to the 47-yard line, stopped by Larry Flowers.
Oh, you can see tempers are flaring out there on those special teams. You'll watch and see what happens after the play. A lot of pushing and shoving.
We mentioned the 77,000 here at Giant Stadium. Several fans outside the stadium today trying to trade tickets to a Rolling Stones concert at the new Byrne Arena for Giant Jet tickets, but they told me they've had no success.
That shows you the importance of this football game to the New Yorkers.
First down at the 47-yard line. Augustiniak stopped by Van Pelt. So the defensive confrontation continues. We have no score with 6.5 remaining in this first quarter.
Brad Van Pelt, according to the Jet coaches, is playing as well as he has ever played, and he's been an all-pro linebacker. And look at him fight off the block by the back, just throw him aside, go in and make the tackle.
Van Pelt received the game ball last week. Ray Perkins said it was the best game that he had seen Brad play, as he came up with the key fumble recovery leading to the winning field goal by Joe Danello in Atlanta. Augustiniak out near midfield. It is a 4-yard pickup. Setting up a 3rd and 8. Gary Jeter, Harry Carson combined to make the stop.
Number 10, Brad Van Pelt, as I said, been playing outstanding ball. Now, first of all, he gets a hold of that tight end as Barkham, but he's got to get rid of him. He does get rid of him. He gets over and makes the play. Gets involved in the tackle. That was a draw play, but an outstanding play once again by number 10, Brad Van Pelt.
And the Giant defense thus far has held the Jets to 6 yards rushing on 4 attempts. Todd going deep for Walker. Broken up. Mark Haynes got a hand on it.
Mark Haynes was beaten. If Richard Todd had gotten that ball up and over the hand of Haynes, it's 6 points for the Jets, because Wesley Walker was open by a couple of steps. The ball was underthrown. Number 85, all alone. Take a look at it. He is open. He's got a couple of strides on Haynes. The ball does not get there. Number 36, Mark Haynes, was able to get his hand on it. But Richard Todd had got that ball out there. It's 6 points.
Chuck Ramsey from his 35. Beautiful punt. Alvin Garrett let it go, and it takes a jet hop. It is down by Bobby Jones. 40-yard punt. The Giants will take over. We have no score with 5 minutes, 10 seconds remaining first quarter.
This is Byron Day in New York. Down in the Orange Bowl in Miami, the league-leading Dolphins have just scored. David Woodley punching it in from 3 yards out. Dolphins on top of the halfless Baltimore Colts, 7-0 in the first quarter.
The Giants taking over 1st and 10 at their 10-yard line. It has been a standoff to this point. Rob Carpenter working hard for the yardage. Stan Blinker, the middle linebacker, making the stop.
That's what the Giants are looking for. They're looking to get Rob Carpenter a little running room, particularly on first down. Good blocking by that offensive line up front, and he comes up with about 6 or 7 yards. This puts him in great position on second down to make this call, because they don't have to throw the ball. They can run if they want to.
And it's a 2nd and 3 at the 17. That's Perkins in motion. And Carpenter again, short yardage. Blinka and Mel combining to make the stop. And led to this point, each team has only 1 first down, and they have not come up with any third down conversions.
The Giants, though, on a couple of occasions, have at least picked up good yardage on first down. The last time they had the football, Shirk caught a pass, picked up about 5 or 6 yards. They didn't come up with the first down. But on that play, on first down situation for the Giants, they came up with 6 or 7 yards. And now they're in a short yardage situation right here, where they have an excellent opportunity to pick up the first down.
3rd and 1, they go double tight end. Mulledy and Young are the tight ends. And Carpenter has the first down. It's been all Rob Carpenter on the ground. That's the 6th carry for Carpenter.
Number 26, Rob Carpenter, acquired from the Houston Oilers, where they had a pretty good running back by the name of Earl Campbell. He didn't get an opportunity to do that too frequently when he was a member of the Houston Oilers, but the Giants are really utilizing his abilities now.
Alvin Garrett has come on, flanked to the left for this 1st and 10 at the 23-yard line. Sims goes to middle. Penalty marker down. Mulledy not able to hang on. Stan Blinka covering on the play.
Tight end was wide open. A couple of flags are down on the play, and heard somebody yelling something about holding. Number 81. Mulledy coming across. He's going to stop right between the linebackers. You see the linebackers, Blinka moving to the right. He stops. The ball hits him right where it's supposed to in the numbers.
Holding offense, number 60.
Number 60 holding for the Giants. That's Brad Benson. That'll take them back. They've had terrible field position. I'm talking about the Giants.
The punt by Ramsey that pinned them in. That was down by Bobby Jones. They began this drive back at their 10-yard line. It's now 1st and 20 at the 13. That's Bright peeling off.
Screen
Big rush. Completes the screen to Carpenter. Out near the 20-yard line. So a 7-yard advance. Lance Mel, right side linebacker, making the stop on Rob Carpenter. And Rob is shaken up. And he is really hurting.
Could have had the wind knocked out of him. What happens in a situation that they were in when they were penalized? Taking a look right now from the behind of the action. Here's the quarterback, a screen pass. They let the men come in. He gets the ball out to the back, hoping that the big lineman will get out in front of him. But you can see the Jets are all around, and this is where he gets nailed by 3 of the New York Jets. And he's still down on the ground.
Scott Bruder involved in that discussion. He is the backup quarterback. And head coach Walt Michaels, who is 5-0 over the Jets. That all in preseason play. Jets and Giants meeting only twice before during the course of the regular season. It is still Houston over Cincinnati 7-0 in the second quarter. The hand for Carpenter, who apparently is all right.
I think he got the wind knocked out of him, which is good news because he should only be out a play or so and back in the ball game. What I was trying to say before was saying that a penalty really puts you in a bind because you can't do too many things. A screen pass, a draw play, a safe pass play is not the only thing that you can do.
And it's 2nd and 14. Phil Simms is 5 for 8, only 31 yards. White able to get outside, but stopped across the 25-yard line.
Draw play that time. Same type of a play that a screen is. You let the defensive line come in and give the ball to the back and hope to find an opening someplace to pick up some yardage. It's a safe play. There it is. Wright gets the ball. He's looking for anywhere. It doesn't make any difference to him where he finds an opening. He just wants to find one. Picked up a few yards. Now they got about 8 to go for a first down on 3rd down.
Jackson and Bell made the stop. It is a 3rd and 8 at the 26-yard line. And Simms will put it up. White not able to hold on. Eluded Buttle, but not able to catch the football. And again, Dave Jennings will come on. But first, let's go to NFL in New York. Here's Byron Day with an update.
Okay, Marv, in Cincinnati, the Bengals have stormed back down the field to tie it up. Pete Johnson running it in from 4 yards out. It's now 7-all in the second quarter in Cincinnati. Marv?
Okay, Byron. Here's Dave Jennings punting from his 11-yard line.
He's kicked nothing but knuckleballs out there today.
He has had a very difficult start, which is unusual for Jennings. Giants did get somewhat of the roll. So the ball will be spotted at the 27-yard line. Make it the 28-yard line. And the Jets will take over with 1:40 remaining in this first quarter, and still no score.
The Jets have enjoyed pretty good field position during this first quarter. They have not been able to do much on first down, with the exception of the first time they got the ball when they had 2 plays called without a huddle.
Augustiniak and Durking, the running backs, but Todd throwing. And Wesley Walker dropped an easy one.
He had thoughts of turning upfield like he did last week and turning a 5-yard pattern into an 80-yard touchdown. That's what happened last week, only they had a man offsides. But that time the ball was thrown very well. They hit him right in the numbers. Terry Jackson, the defensive back for the Giants, was out there, but he would have had to make the tackle after Wesley caught the football. That's a pass a receiver likes. It was out there with a lot of zip on it. Get it to him in a hurry where if he catches it, he might break a tackle and jump upfield.
2nd and 10 at the 28. Brian Kelly stopping Bruce Hopper. And time running down to this first quarter, 1:25 remaining. For another update, let's go back to NFL 81. Here's Byron Day.
Okay, Marv, thank you very much. At Rich Stadium in Buffalo, Joe Ferguson has just connected on a 58-yard touchdown pass to his running back out of Auburn, Joe Cribbs. Buffalo now on top in the first quarter, 7-0. Let's go back to Marv Albert and Lynn Dawson.
Giants Stadium. It is a 3rd and 5 at the 33. Intended for Walker. Jackson providing the coverage. Once again, the Jets are forced to punt.
That ball sailed on him. Now that's the 2nd or 3rd time he's trying to throw an out pattern to his wide receivers. That time he was not close once again. And I said, if they're going to win this football game, Richard Todd is going to have a good day. Right now he's tight, but fortunately for the Jets, they haven't made the mistakes that cost them points.
Chuck Ramsey punting for the 4th time this first quarter. He's got average. Oh! Nearly blocked. It has been a first quarter for the punters, Ramsey and Jennings.
Byron Hunt almost blocked this. Number 57 coming straight up the middle. He just gets it away. Look at that. Just gets it away, and fortunately for the Giants, he missed the kicker. Because had he hit the kicker, it would have been a penalty. Look at it, straight up the gut. There's nothing that the kicker can do except hurry as fast as he can.
Byron Hunt, 9th round draft pick, a rookie out of SMU.
You know how nervous that makes a punter when they come that close twice in a row? Very nervous.
As a result, Ramsey with only a 36-yard punt, first down at the 31-yard line, and Carpenter stopped for short yardage. Abdul Salam, the left defensive tackle, making the stop. The Jets of Gastineau, Salam, Rudolph, Pleco. Up front, Butto, Blinka, and Bell, the linebackers. Holmes and Jackson at the corners, and Ray and Schroy are the deep men. 2-yard advance, 2nd and 8 at the 33. Freedy is wide left, and Perkins in the slot. That is Bright in motion. Sims with lots of time. Shirk for the first down. Penalty marker down as this first quarter comes to a conclusion. Gary Shirk on the reception.
Also, Sims was on the receiving end of a lick after he threw the football, and he got up rather slowly once again. Pointing the finger at the Giants, so it's going to bring that play back.
We'll get the official call from the referee, Ben Dreith. Zeros.
Offense, pass interference, number 86.
Johnny Perkins, the wide receiver, called for the interference. I said zeros on the scoreboard. Now we get the gun, so the official call that this first quarter has come to a conclusion here at Giants Stadium with the score after one. Giants nothing, Jets nothing. At Giants Stadium, it was a punt festival in the first quarter. 8 punts in all. Look out. Are we short one NBC banner?
I guess so. But we know where it is, though.
2nd and 18 for Phil Sims. Leon Bright out at the 34, but short of a first down. Lance Bell, Greg Buttle combining.
Statistically, in the first quarter, not much, is there? Total yards, 30 for the Jets, 54 for the Giants. Neither team being able to run with the football, trying to establish that. Both sides, if they're going to be successful, they're going to have to throw the football because both defenses play very well against the running game.
And Sims now has 3rd and 7 at the 34. Alvin Garrett is back in, flanked to the left. Sims. Greg Buttle chasing Phil Sims down. First, Sims looked in the direction of Garrett, who was well covered, and he could not find anyone.
Buttle that time was taking a look, see what happened. That was a delayed blitz by number 51, Greg Buttle. Number 11, Sims going back in the pocket. Everybody knows they have to throw, so those big defensive linemen, you see 76, Ben Rudolph coming in. Now Buttle checks him out, and it's a foot race. You can see how fast those linebackers are today.
2nd sack of the day for the Jets. Here's Jennings, who has not gotten off a real good one as of yet. Bruce Hopper. Up near the 40-yard line. Frank Marion leading the assault for the Giants, so the Jets will take over when we return.
Have some fun. Join David Woodley, Matt Moore, Steve Grogan, Stanley Morgan, Jim Plunkett, Kenny Stabler, Earl Campbell, Terry Bradshaw, Richard Todd, Brian Sipe, and Craig Morton. They'll all be here, and you're invited too. Check local listings.
Marv Albert, Len Dawson back at Giants Stadium, East Rutherford, New Jersey, where early second quarter, still no score. And a 1st and 10 at the 40 for the New York Jets. Hopper unable to hang on. Harry Carson covering on the play.
Number 42, Bruce Harper. He's a fine receiver coming out of the backfield. First down, they're throwing the ball because they've had no success running with it on first down. Puts a move on the linebacker, Harry Carson, but the ball is thrown a little bit behind him. But once again, it was thrown behind. It was not a good pass, but he should have caught the football.
Todd has been off here in this first half. He's now 3 of 10 for 17 yards. That's Lamb Jones moving to the slot right. 2nd and 10. Hopper on the slant. Lawrence Taylor right there.
Number 56, Lawrence Taylor, an outstanding young linebacker, 235 pounds. He is quick and he's mobile. He was on his way to blitz that time. He sees the running play and he just sacrifices that body. That's what a young man will do to come up with the tackle.
Well, what is extraordinary about Taylor, although he is a rookie, he is an intimidating type linebacker even at this stage.
And he has the size, 6'3" and about 240 pounds. He can be very physical out there.
3rd down and 8. And Todd putting it up. He's got Walker. Wesley Walker for the first long gainer of the afternoon. Bumped out by Terry Jackson.
They gave him a lot of room back there. That was a zone defense, although it was Terry Jackson, number 24, finally making the stop. It really wasn't man-to-man coverage. It was a zone defense back there. And Wesley Walker, number 85 of the Jets, is just trying to locate an area where he can slide and get open. You see 24 is Terry Jackson turned his back. When a receiver can get a man to turn his back, he's going to be breaking open.
It's a 33-yard pass play. First down for the Jets at the Giant 26-yard line. Lamb Jones inside the 20. Stopped by Mark Haynes.
The Jets had one man in the backfield. That was Bruce Harper. They spread out the offense, which means you're going to spread out the defense. And you get a man like Lamb Jones, number 80, who runs a 40-yard dash in about 4.3 seconds. That defensive back, he's not even in the picture yet, giving him plenty of room in front of him because he doesn't want to get beat deep. 36 is Mark Haynes, and he is a fine defensive cornerback.
There's Pat Leahy. Getting ready just in case. 2nd and 4. Augustiniak picking up the first down. Brad Van Pelt making the stop on Mike Augustiniak.
See how important that first down play was, that they picked up 5 or 6 yards, which makes the play selection on 2nd down a lot easier. You don't have to throw the football. So the defense, they have to play defense. They have to look for both the run and the throw. Here's a walk-on at Purdue University, also a walk-on with the Jets. And he is a big asset to this football team.
Had a big game against the Giants in preseason. Also suffered a cracked rib in the preseason game against the Giants. First down at the 14. Play action. And Todd is hauled down by Lawrence Taylor.
You were just talking about that young man, number 56, Lawrence Taylor. Even though he is a rookie, he can be very intimidating out there, and he was intimidating here. Play action pass. Richard Todd was looking to go for 6, but you can see the heat is on. 56, 240 pounds, but still has the quickness and the ability to run the quarterback down.
3.5 sacks for number 56, Lawrence Taylor. Giants number 1 draft pick, 2nd in the draft overall, 2nd and 16 back at the 20. Some confusion, and Todd just throwing it up.
What he had a screen pass eventually that he wanted to play. He had a fake reverse on it, and he was going to throw a screen pass, but there was so much heat on Richard Todd, he couldn't locate, really, the running back that he wanted to throw the ball to, so he threw it down, making sure that he didn't take another loss. And here it is. He lost about 6 yards on the play before. He didn't want to lose another 10 yards.
It is a 3rd and 16 at the 20.
What the Jets want to do, they want to come out of this with at least an opportunity to kick a field goal.
Larry Flowers has come on as the extra defensive back. Hopper, the intended receiver. Beasley Reese covering on the play, and again Todd facing pressure.
He knew he had to get rid of the football. Harper did have a half a step, but it had to have been a perfect throw. But Todd did the wise thing in getting rid of the football and not taking a loss to give his field goal kicker a better opportunity to make it. He's going to be kicking it from about the 28-yard line, which would be a 38-yard kick.
And Pat Leahy has connected on his last 5 attempts, 10 for 15 overall. And it is good. 38-yard field goal for Pat Leahy. 10:39 remaining, second quarter at Giants Stadium, and the Jets lead the Giants by the score of 3-0. Jets consuming 3 minutes. Jets lead it 3-0. The kickoff by Leahy. Alvin Garrett out to the 23-yard line. 5'7", Alvin Garrett on the return. And a check of the score. New Orleans first down at the 24-yard line. Curry and Carpenter are the running backs. Carpenter stacked up. Joe Klecko leading the way for the Jets. Now for an NFL update, let's go to our studios in New York for Byron Day.
Marvin, the Orange Bowl in Miami, the Dolphins are on the board once again. David Woodley throwing this 22-yard touchdown pass to Daryl Harris. It's now 14-7 in the second quarter. Marv?
Thank you, Byron. 2nd and 9, 1-yard pickup for Carpenter.
Marv, they've been testing that right side of the Jets, and they haven't made anything over there.
Phil Simms, 6 of 10 to this point for 42 yards.
Deflected. It was deflected up the middle. It's either Abdul Salam or somebody got a hand up on there. Big number 76 is Ben Rudolph also. That ball was deflected by one of those big defensive linemen, which just proves you don't have to sack the quarterback to handle a passing game. If you can get your hands up in his face, they call it pressure the quarterback, it's almost as much good as putting him on the ground.
And those Jet defensive linemen, Gastineau 6'5", Salam 6'3", Rudolph 6'5", Klecko 6'3". 3rd and 9, Giants 1 of 6 on third down conversion. Out of the shotgun, Simms in trouble. And it's the rookie out of Long Beach State, 3rd-round draft pick, Ben Rudolph, replacing the injured Marty Lyons, coming up with his first NFL sack.
He was not touched. He came straight up the middle. Right, take a look at this. Straight up the middle. There was a little game between the 2 defensive tackles, Salam and Rudolph. Nobody touched that big man. And Simms had the misfortune of the only thing that he could see was number 76, Ben Rudolph.
3rd sack of the day for the New York Jets, and Dave Jennings will kick from his goal line. Phil Simms talking it over with head coach Ray Perkins. Bruce Hopper out near midfield. Penalty markers down once again. Frank Marion making the stop on Hopper, but we will be listening to the referee Ben Price once again.
If it is against the Jets, it's really a bad move, because look at the field position they have had this entire first half so far. They've had excellent field position compared to the Giants. And if it's against the Giants, they're in deeper trouble because the ball is on the 41-yard line.
45-yard punt, 13-yard return, but let's see what Ben has to say about it.
Well, they're taking it back. The Jets are not going to have as good a field position as they would have had.
That's an illegal block on number 45 on the receiving team. He blocked above the waist in the back.
Well, a lengthy interpretation. It's Kirk Springs, the first-year player out of Miami of Ohio. So with 9:06 remaining in the second quarter, on the 38 field goal by Pat Leahy, the Jets lead it 3-0. New York Jets taking over, first down at their 34-yard line. They lead it 3-0. 6 minutes gone by, second quarter. That's Gaffney in motion. Here's Hopper. going nowhere. And Bruce Harper has been a busy man in this first half, but not able to pick up the yardage. Bill Neal, the nose tackle. Gary Jeter, right defensive end. We're right there. And for another NFL update, let's go back to Byron Day.
Marvin, upstate New York and Buffalo, the Bills are once again on the board. This time Ferguson hitting Cribbs for a 15-yard touchdown pass. This time the point after was good, so the Bills lead 13-zip in the second. Marv?
All right, Byron. 2nd and 9 at the 35. Joe Fields the center. Rasmussen, Alexander at the guards. Powell and Ward are at the tackle. Play action. Harper out at the 40 for first down. Beasley Reese, the free safety. Harry Carson, the right inside linebacker, hauling Harper down.
I said he was an outstanding receiver coming out of the backfield. Now, he made a great adjustment on a pass that wasn't that well thrown once again by Todd. Play action pass coming out of the backfield. Look at this. Turning around, keeping his eye on the ball, and making the reception. You must give the quarterback time to throw. Jerome Barkham and Van Pelt. Van Pelt is just making sure he wasn't blitzing, but just making sure that number 83 Barkham didn't go out on the pass pattern.
25-yard pass play. Now Todd goes sideline for Walker. And it's ruled complete. Wesley Walker just did catch it in bounds. And it's another Jet first down. Mark Haynes, the left cornerback, covering that man. Number 85, Wesley Walker, who has been bothered by a groin and shoulder injury the last couple of weeks, hit with a touch of the flu to cap it off.
Good throw by Richard Todd, and you can see that the defensive backs of the Giants, they are giving the wide receivers of the Jets a lot of room, a lot of space. And what you have to do, you have to continue to throw in front of them until they start coming up and playing you tough. Then you go deep.
First down at the 26-yard line, and it's Harper again, finding a big hole and picking up 6 yards. Carson and Van Pelt making the stop.
That's one of the few times on first down on a running situation for the Jets that they picked up good yardage where they're in a situation now where they don't have to throw the football.
2nd down and 4. Bruce Harper to the sidelines to get a respite. Atlanta in a shootout with New Orleans, 17-10 in the second quarter. Gaffney is out to the right side now. Here's Scott Durkin. Scott Durkin, who has been in and out of the lineup, hampered by injuries throughout the season, has collected the first down. Brian Kelly covering up along with Bill Neal.
Scott Durkin apparently must be their designated short yardage player because generally in a short yardage situation he is in the ball game, and quite a few of the times when they run the football, Scott Durkin is the man that is carrying it. Once again, the last 2 drives, they've moved the football. They've thrown the ball very well. That's it. In order for the Jets to be successful against the Giants, they're going to have to be successful throwing the football.
Jets have a first down at the Giants' 16-yard line.
Wide open.
Throwing on first down, but Durkin dropped it.
Wide open. Another poor throw by Richard Todd. Number 25, Scott Durkin, was wide open in the flat. Had he gotten the football to him in a hurry and with some zip on it, there was a chance he might have gotten into the end zone. Richard's just a hair off on his throwing. Here is play pass. Augustiniak helping out, but you can see right here the ball is thrown behind him. He's turning the receiver around. Had he gotten the ball to his outside shoulder with a zip on it, he could perhaps turned upfield, gotten into the end zone. But they threw on first down.
It is a 2nd down at the 16. The swing for Harper. And that pass was slightly off the mark, but Harper was able to get to it.
Harper is a very valuable man to this Jet offense. That was not a good throw. It was a screen pass. But you talk about somebody doing something on his own. 42, Bruce Harper's going to do all this on his own. Makes a great catch. Avoids one man. Now he's avoiding Harry Carson, another man. That play easily could have been for about a 6 or 7 yard loss. But it was a great effort by 42, Bruce Harper. You see that move on Carson? Getting upfield, he picked up about 4 yards he could have easily lost 6 or 8.
It's 3rd and 5. The crowd urging the Giant defense on. Penalty marker down. The intended receiver, Derek Gaffney.
A lot of pushing and shoving going. Number 70 is Jeter. He's saying that 72, Chris Ward.
Well,
they're continuing that battle that they've had.
Those two good friends who have gone at each other during the course of preseason over the years. In fact, have finished several preseason games swinging away at each other.
Well, what the Jets do not need down here is a penalty. You know, taking them further back out of field goal range. Now the ball's back on the, now they're moving it up again. 26-yard line. There are certain areas you just don't take chances. And when you get down in an area where you only get so many opportunities to score when you're going against a good football team. Now they're going back the other way.
Offense, personal foul, grabbing and jerking the face mask 72. They're going to decline a penalty, and it's going to be 4th down.
Well, that's interesting. That is interesting that they would refuse that penalty because it would have. Now they're kicking now from what is it, the 19-yard line, which is a 29-yard field goal. He's already made a 38-yard one with a lot to spare. I believe I'd have taken that penalty.
Well, Perkins rather give up the 3, and again penalty markers are down.
And so's Randy Rasmussen. Somebody moved, or at least the defense thought that the offense moved, and they just teed off.
And again against the Jets.
Well, they can't refuse this one. They must accept it.
That's a false start on the middle of the line on the offense.
You know, the reason I was talking about refusing a penalty before, what if that would have been against the Giants? It'd have been close to a 1st down.
Well, this means Leahy will attempt from 34 yards away. And he drills it right through. So Pat Leahy with a 38-yard field goal and connecting right here for all 6 Jet points.
Kenny Anderson has brought the Bengals all the way back. They lead for the first time in the game on this 8-yard touchdown pass to Dan Ross. It's now 14-7 in the second. Let's go back to Marvin Lynn.
Thank you, Byron. And the Jets in front by the score of 6-0 as Pat Leahy was able to connect from 34 yards out. Pat Leahy now with the boot as we take a look from the point of view of the receiver, Leon Bright. And Leon Bright to the 20-yard line. All down across the 20. So the Giants will go to work 1st and 10 at their 20 with 5:44 remaining, but a penalty marker thrown down.
Offside on the kicking team. 5-yard penalty and kick it over.
It'll be a do-over.
Walt Michaels didn't appreciate that at all. Some more scores. Cincinnati leading Houston 14-7 in the second quarter. Miami by the same score, 14-7 over Baltimore second quarter. Buffalo shutting out Cleveland 13-0 second quarter score. No score between San Francisco and Pittsburgh in the second quarter. Tampa Bay ahead of the Bears 10-3 in the second quarter. Atlanta 17, New Orleans 10 second quarter score. New Orleans starting to play a little better.
And the Atlanta Falcons looking to make it back from the overtime defeat at the hands of these Giants in Atlanta last week.
Now, if the Giants do not commit an error, they should get the best field position that they've had in the entire first half.
And Pat Leahy getting set to kick off. And again, a look from the field level point of view. This time, Alvin Garrett across the 20, across the 25-yard line as we follow Garrett from the end zone. John Woodring making the stop. Garrett gets to the 27, and it'll be first down for the Giants at that point. These two clubs meeting for only the third time during the course of regular season play, and today's game coming on the 11th anniversary of their first confrontation back on November 1st, 1970. Look at the total offense picture to this point. The Giants have not been able to get going at all, particularly on the ground.
I think if you recall, after the first quarter, it was fairly close, but the Jets have taken over in the second quarter.
Sims on first down. Intended for Ernest Gray. Coverage provided by Bobby Jackson.
I heard the Giant fans cheering when number 83, Ernest Gray, came into the ballgame because of the tremendous speed that he has. And for the Giants, that man, Phil Sims, is going to have to unload that football, put it in the air to move it because they have not been able to do much on the ground.
And Phil Sims coming off a 19 for 32 performance against Atlanta, throwing for 2 touchdowns, threw an 80-yarder to Perkins, the longest of Sims' career. He has a 2nd and 10. This is Leon Bright. Leon Bright has picked up the first down out to the 39-yard line. Bright is a rookie in the NFL. He played 4 years in the Canadian Football League out of Florida State.
He breaks a few tackles coming up with his first down. This is a draw play, letting that defense come in thinking it's going to be a pass. But right here, there are about 3 Jets that put arms and hands on him, but he ran right through it, picking up the first down. And for the Giants on the 39-yard line, that's just about as good a field position as they've had this first half.
12-yard pickup for Bright. First down at the 39. And Bright again. This time he took a pop out of the 44 from Greg Buttle.
Well, what they're doing now, they're spreading out that defense. The tight end is moving out 3 wide receivers in the ballgame that last time, spreading out the defense. They had one man going downfield, cutting to the inside, and they had the back coming out in the flat. And all he did was take a look at Buttle, the linebacker. Whichever direction he went the opposite direction. Buttle went inside, so he threw outside to his back.
And Greg Buttle has played very well as of late. He has been hit hard by injuries this season. He's come on the last few games. 2nd and 5 at the 44. Sims lofting it downfield. Incomplete.
Or is it?
Well, let's see. Perhaps they'll rule a fumble. They do. They say complete and a fumble. Johnny Perkins on the reception, and he fumbled the football. It's a 36-yard pass.
I think the people have to realize the new rule change. That if you have the ball in your possession and both feet are in bounds, it is a completion. You're taking a look right now. He does. The ball pops loose now. Now, last year, that would have been an incomplete pass. It is a great throw and a great catch. He catches the ball. He's got both feet in bounds. The ball pops loose. This year, it's a fumble. The Jets come up with it.
Johnny Lynn was covering on the play, and that man, Jerry Holmes, coming up with a loose football. So a big break for the Jets. First down at their 19. Bruce Harper. Penalty marker thrown down as Harper comes across the 25 where he was rammed by Lawrence Taylor.
It shows you the great quickness of that big young linebacker, number 56, Lawrence Taylor. Now, Bruce Harper is a very quick back, and he was trying to jump to the outside, and big linebacker was able to run him down. But somebody on the offensive line holding on a running play, which is a terrible thing to do. I mean, it's to be holding any time, but on a running play, to hold, because you got a back like Harper who says it even if you miss the block, whether he's going to make the tackle or not. Number 42 is Bruce Harper. Let him into your living room because he's coming right at you. Great camera work. Here he comes. But before that, he's greeted by Lawrence Taylor. Fine young linebacker. It's a great shot.
And off the penalty. And the Jets continue to get hammered by penalties. First and 20 back at the 9.
It's a situation they draw. There it is. Augustiniak straight ahead. The flag is down once again. Right in the middle of that line.
Gary Jeter making the stop on Augustiniak. Earlier this season, the Jets were on the way to all kinds of club records concerning penalties, and again, it's against the green and white, the New York Jets.
Well, they keep going back, and what means if they don't get a first down to move that football, there's 4:14 remaining in this first half. If they have to punt, the Giants could get in excellent field position. A couple of plays, and they can be in for a score. Now, play selection. Richard Todd goes into the end zone to pass. People must remember.
Holding number 65.
Joe Fields, the offensive center, called for holding. If there's a penalty in the end zone, it's 2 points. Here it is. Most penalized.
New York Jets on top of the heap of the National Football League coming in. And penalties have put them in a deep hole here. It's a first and 25 back at the 4.
Got confusion in the backfield, too. Augustiniak doesn't know what's going on.
And Augustiniak, the ball carrier, gets it out to the 9-yard line. Harry Carson making the stop.
I'd have to assume when the back is back there and throws his hands up in the air, you got to assume that he doesn't know what's going on. But since he was the only one back there and Richard didn't want the ball, it was Mike's turn to get it. Did get out of a jam a little bit, up to around the 10-yard line. Little breathing room.
Perhaps Todd thought he was calling for the ball. It is a second and 19 at the 10. 3:40 left. First half. And it's the Jets 6, the Giants nothing on 2 Pat Leahy field goals. Todd guns it to Hopper. And let's see what the call is here. This is ruled incomplete, and the Giants arguing. They're saying, why is this incomplete? If the look out, we have some pointing back and forth between Gary Jeter and Marvin Powell. They almost went at each other, but the Giants making the point on the fumble call earlier against Johnny Perkins that led to the turnover.
That's why it's such a, the officials have a tough job out there because these are judgment calls. Number 56, Lawrence Taylor, the rookie. And he has got a free shot. 56, he says, yes, it's our ball. The man in the striped suit said no.
It is 3rd and 19. Back at the 10-yard line. Hopper looking to get outside. So the Giants able to hold the Jets. The combination of Taylor and Kelly having Hopper in. And Chuck Ramsey will come out. An ovation for the Giant defense.
I don't understand why they didn't call timeout either. Number 56, Taylor. Barkham, 83, trying to make a block on him. He's fighting off the block, fights off another blocker, and gets involved in the tackle. I'm surprised they didn't call timeout. That's a lot of time. If I were the kicker, I'd just let it run on down to the 30-second mark, or as close to it as possibly can. 15 seconds remaining before the 30-second mark is down to 0. 10 seconds, 9.
Chuck Ramsey heading it away to Alvin Garrett.
Fumbled the ball.
And it's recovered by the Jets. Alvin Garrett coughing it up. Jesse Johnson on the recovery. A 46-yard punt by Chuck Ramsey. And now a discussion over at the Jet bench. Some of the Giant players pointing the other way, indicating that.
See, Walt Michaels is voicing his opinion on that particular play.
The initial indication from the official was Jet ball, but let's see.
Kicking team got the football in bounds. It's their ball.
It will be Jet possession. The Giants claiming that they recovered inbounds and then the Jets recovered out of bounds.
You take a look at it right here. Now he's got the ball and he coughs it up. The ball is going by and you have to get possession inbounds. Now if that ball would have trickled out of bounds, even though they'd have touched it, the last possession would have been by the Giants. But they said he did recover it inbounds.
John Woodring, the man who made the initial hit on Alvin Garrett. Jets 1st and 10 at the Giant 39. And Todd putting it up for Walker.
Good hand.
Touchdown! Wesley Walker putting the speed on to outrace the right quarterback, Kerry Jackson.
That happened earlier in the ball game. Richard Todd did not get the trajectory that is necessary to get that ball up and over the defender. And it was knocked down. But Wesley Walker has such tremendous speed that you can hardly overthrow him. Take a look. He's running away from the defensive man. Got the ball up and over, a soft throw, and a touchdown for the Jets.
Pat Leahy adds the extra point. So a big turnover on the fumble by Alvin Garrett. As a result, Wesley Walker with his 3rd reception of the day for 63 yards in all. Wesley Walker on a 39-yard hookup from Richard Todd.
And this is the reason number 85, Wesley Walker, is so valuable, because of that great speed. Take a look. He's about 3 or 4 yards away. The ball is laid out there by Richard Todd. He nestles it in and an easy touchdown. Number 85, great speed, Wesley Walker. Nothing fancy about this. He hesitates a little bit. Now he's just pouring on the speed. It's a foot race right now, and the winner is going to be number 85, Wesley Walker. They have him on one side. They get Lamb Jones that runs about a 4.340 on the other side. They spread that defense out and puts a lot of pressure on them.
Although Lamb has been a major disappointment, he did come up with a reception earlier in the day, only his 4th reception of the season. If Jones can ever match what Walker has done.
I still don't understand why the Giants did not call timeout when it was the 4th down situation. And they were going to get the ball in good field position.
Pat Leahy getting set to kick off. A fumble by Garrett on the punt, recovered by Jesse Johnson of the Jets. Turned it around. Todd going to the air on 1st down and connecting with Wesley Walker to give the Jets a 13-0 lead. Strong kick by Leahy. Here's Alvin Garrett. And you know he has to be holding onto that football very tightly as he goes up to the 20-yard line. We're approaching 2 minutes remaining in this first half.
Marv, there's a lot of pounding going on those special teams after the play is down, because they just continue the hitting.
Wesley enjoying this first half.
Hey, did he have it?
He has forgotten that he came into the game with a case of the flu, a groin pull, or shoulder injury.
Amazing what a reception for a touchdown will do for him.
That is Bright peeling off. Penalty marker down. Johnny Perkins to left field, but let's check and see what that flag is all about. 2 flags tossed out.
Somebody moved on that offensive or defensive line at the snap, and then Bobby Jackson, number 40, was getting into it with Gary Shirk, 87. Both of them could be against the New York Jets.
30-yard reception by Johnny Perkins. And here is
a lot of discussion.
Mr. Dwight.
Defense was offside. Personal foul also on the defense.
Yes, both of them. Bad move by Bobby Jackson. You know, this is an emotional game, but he's down there where the man makes a reception. And the official is standing right next to him, and he starts punching on the tight end. A lot of times, though, the tight end or somebody makes the first hit, and what is seen is the second one. They've got to calm him down. He's not doing the Jets any good getting all excited like that.
Offside decline. The personal foul was on number 40, the defense.
That is Bobby Jackson.
Taking him out. Johnny Lynn, number 29, coming into the ball game. That's a good move by the Jets. Get him to the sideline, calm down.
A big break for the Giants. First down at the Jet 34-yard line. We're just under 2 minutes remaining in this first half, and the Jets in front by the score of 13-0. Let us reflect back to a former Giant by the name of Don Maynard, who went on to a sensational career with the Jets, hooking up with Joe Willie. The Giants now 1st and 10 at the Jet 34 with a great opportunity off the heavily penalized Jets. Sims going deep. Ernest Gray not able to hang on. Ernest Gray, who has suffered many cases of dropsies over his 3 seasons with the Giants, now hearing it from the crowd.
This is a great throw by Sims. Number 29, Johnny Lynn, just came into the ball game for Jackson, and that ball hits Ernest Gray right where you want it. Great throw by Sims. Can't ask for a better throw. Just a matter of concentrating on that ball and coming up with it. That was 6 points for the Giants if they held on.
2nd and 10 for the Giants at the Jet 34. Sims throwing on the run for Bright inside the 20 for a first down. Greg Buddle making the tackle. A minute 36.
Giants called timeout. Wasted a lot of time doing that, though.
A minute 36 remaining in this first half, and we'll be right back. Preceding announcement was furnished as a public service by the National Football League. Interesting stat right there, Len.
Number of plays. If you have the football, the other team can't score.
Good, yes. Phil Sims, 10 for 17, 123 yards, but the Giants have not been able to get up on the board. Minute 36 left, first half. Jets lead 13-0. Sims had time. Mike Creedy, the intended receiver, and no one else in sight.
Sims really took a shot in there. I believe it was 76. Ben Rudolph that hit him just as he got rid of the football. And that's about the 3rd time that Sims has been nailed back there, and he's been very slow getting up. Here's Ernest Gray, a rousing round of boos for this poor young man. You know, everybody drops him. But that was 6 points, the one that he dropped just a minute ago.
I don't know, Len, were you that benevolent in your days as a quarterback about dropsies?
I don't think people understand, how difficult it is for a receiver to get open, locate.
A reminder, next Saturday, Johnny Rutherford returns to the site of that horrendous crash last year to compete in the CART Phoenix 150. And challenging him will be Indy 500 champ Bobby Unser, Rick Mears, Al Unser, as well as that tricky Phoenix Oval, plus bulging biceps abound to some of the most muscular men and women in the world. Meet to see who is cut out to be the mixed pairs world bodybuilding champions. That's all next Saturday, 4 p.m. Eastern Time on NBC Sports World. Joe Danello, who has hit on his last 10, which established a new Giant record.
What's the record? The record's about 14.
20.
20?
Garo Yepremian.
20? I remember when I was playing, Jan Stenerud had tied Lou Groza at 14 or 16.
He is halfway there.
He's probably saying, I don't want the opportunity to get a touchdown. Let me try for an extra point. I need a big play here.
Minute 32 remaining of the half. Incomplete. Or do they rule it a fumble? Let's see. Mike Freedy.
No, sir, it's no good.
Try to cover up. Now this one is ruled as incomplete. Len, what's your reaction to this? That's a tough call by the official, and we have seen it on 3 occasions.
Well, we've got him isolated. Let's take a look at what happens. That the ball looks like it's thrown as low, but it's very catchable. But I think, it looked like that it hit the ground.
You say he did not have possession.
I say the ball hit the ground. It hit the turf, which means he did not have possession. You must have possession and both feet in. By possession, that means your hands on the ball.
Would that upset you, Len? Flashing back to
There's been 5 drop passes. That would definitely upset me. 5 in the first half. One of them would have been a touchdown.
Our third down and 10. The tight end, Tom Mulledy, short of a first down.
Flag is down also. Joe Flacco was out there, who is one of the captains of the New York Jet football team.
Joe is out there bargaining.
Well, he's looking to his coaches to see what decision is to be made, because the coaches make the decisions on the penalties, not the players.
And it has been a penalty-filled first half.
Holding on the offense, number 60, decline a penalty. It's forced down.
It's the left tackle, Brad Benson, 4-year pro out of Penn State. Jets decline. And Joe Danello will come on. Joe is 15 for 22 overall. As I mentioned, he's hit 10 in a row. Set another giant record with 6 out of 6 2 weeks ago against Seattle. Danello, in his 7th season out of Washington State, has had a magnificent year. The situation here, minute 19.
A lot of credit goes to the kicker, Marv, but there are other people involved. That center has to get a good snap, and the holder has to get it down.
Scott Brunner
No, sir.
on a fake.
He's got him open, too.
Oh, a beautiful play to break it up intended for Mulledy. But what a play by Darrell Ray.
Had that ball been there sooner, he was open, it would have been a touchdown. Gutsy call by the Giants. And their coach, Ray Perkins. They were going for a touchdown.
You like that call?
I like that call, because had the ball been there, it was a touchdown, because the man was open in the end zone. It was a great defensive play by the defender, but if the ball gets there in time, it's a touchdown.
Darrell Ray able to keep it away from Tom Mulledy.
The Jets have been fortunate. Remember, not too long ago, they were down in the same position. They punted, the fumble, one play, a touchdown. Now, this particular play, it could have been 6 against them there.
First and 10 at the 14. Augustiniak protecting that football. Brings to the 22. Beasley Reese, the free safety, making the stop. There's Darrell Ray coming up with a very big play.
Well, he's come up with a lot of big plays, coming up with 5 interceptions so far. Take a look at the play again. Here it is. The kick. Look at the kicker is wide open. The kicker is wide open. Number 53. And see the great play by Darrell Ray. But Mulledy was open on the play. Had the ball been there.
Brunner has seen Danello's hands at work as a receiver.
I'm sure he's coming back and said, hey, go to your best receiver. It was me. I was wide open in the flat.
A timeout has been called. A Giant player injured. It's Brad Van Pelt. Let's take another look at that fleet-footed receiver, Joe
Number
Danello.
18, left of your screen. No one near him. And see, the man is wide open. The ball is thrown behind him, and Ray comes up with a good play. But Mulledy was open had the ball been there, but Danello was open. It was multiple choice.
Never even a thought on the part of Scott Brunner to go to number 18.
I don't believe so. He didn't want to put that type of pressure on.
You know, scalper tickets for today's game have been going for as high as $200. Are you aware, Len, that in contrast to New York. The state of New Jersey has no law against ticket scalping. Security people can ask scalpers to leave, but legally you really can't do a thing about it. You could have made out very well.
I don't have any tickets. Nobody have any tickets.
Next.
He's been in 5 Pro Bowl games, and you take a look at the Giants' record over the last several years. That's quite an accomplishment for Van Pelt.
Second down play. Augustiniak to the 27. Jeter and Taylor combining to make the stop. 50 seconds remaining in this first half, and the clock is running.
It's first down. Now, you know, the Jets, if they would have to come up with a big play, and I'm sure they're going to keep the ball on the ground, because they don't want to put it up in the air and stop the clock or give the Giants an opportunity to get the football back. But if they were to break one that would get in pretty good field position, I would look for them to call a timeout, and then they might try to score. But right now, they're really not trying to score. He's checking off at the line of scrimmage.
Augustiniak again. Lawrence Taylor, the right outside linebacker, was right there, and now the Jets will just let the time run out. So that will do it. In this first half, the up and down Jets were up thus far, and they have received more than their share of breaks. A look at Matt Snell, a man the Giants wanted, but who signed with the New York Jets. Halftime score, Jets on top 13-0.
Scores of the day. A lot of good scoring, a lot of good action this afternoon, and we're going to do that right now. Beginning with the Houston-Cincinnati game. They're playing in Cincinnati. Cincinnati has not beaten Houston the last 6 times, and the way the game started off didn't look like they were going to win this week either. Kenny Anderson looking to bring the Bengals back to their first victory over Houston. But the way things started out didn't look too good. Kenny Stabler tossing a 25-yard touchdown pass to Mike Renfro for the first score of the ball game, but then Pete Johnson rammed it in from 4 yards out. That tied the ball game up at 7-all. Kenny Anderson then completed this 20-yard pass to M.L. Harris to set up their score. He then tossed an 8-yard touchdown pass to number 89, Dan Ross. That made it 14-7. Then his third touchdown of the first half, Kenny Anderson completed this toss to Chris Collingsworth, an 18-yarder. Good move at the goal line. It's 21-7. Jim Breach then kicked a 51-yard field goal, making it 24-7. That's at the half. Bengals over the Oilers. Now, for the game you've been watching out at the Meadowlands, it's a real tussle. The Jets and the Giants. Ray Perkins really wants to find out if his Giants are for real. He got together with his quarterback, Phil Simms, to talk over game plans, but so far, it's been all Jets. Richard Todd passes 33 yards. Number 85, Wesley Walker, that set up a field goal, a Pat Leahy field goal of 38 yards. That made the score 3-0. Then the Jets recovered this fumble. And with that, Richard Todd hit Wesley Walker on a 39-yard touchdown pass, making it 13-0. Then with less than a minute to go in the half, the Giants tried to fake a field goal, trying to hit Tom Mulledy in the end zone. It's knocked away by Darrell Ray. At the half, as you know, the Jets are ahead now, 13-0. Down in Miami, the Dolphins are playing the hapless Colts, and things are not looking good for the Colts at this point. They managed to make a game of it toward the second half, but there's still one whole half of action left to go. David Woodley got the scoring off as Don Shula looked on. Woodley on a 3-yard touchdown run on a quarterback draw. That made the score 7-0 in the early going. But then Burt Jones brought the Colts right back. He tossed a 5-yard touchdown pass to Don McCauley, tying the ball game up at 7-all. Then David Woodley almost slips and falls, but manages to complete this 22-yard touchdown pass to Darrell Harris. 14-7 Miami. Mike Wood then came along. I beg your pardon, 17-10. Mike Wood, the extra 3 points here for Baltimore. Mike Wood kicked a 44-yard field goal for Baltimore, 17-10. That ball game is now in the third quarter. Cleveland and Buffalo. What has happened to Cleveland? They're 4-4. Playing Buffalo 5-3. Cleveland not looking very good at this point. Joe Ferguson having a fine day, and they're really excited about things up in Buffalo. Joe Ferguson, his first touchdown pass of the day to Auburn sensation Joe Cribbs, a 59-yarder. They missed the point after. It made it 6-0. Then Ferguson turned back going the other way, tossed a 15-yarder to Cribbs. That made the score 13-0 in the second quarter. Matt Barr finally got the Browns on the scoreboard, 13-3. That ball game is now in the half. Some other scores around the league. San Francisco visiting Pittsburgh. Joe Montana has tossed a 5-yard touchdown pass to get the 49ers on the board first to Charlie Young. Ray Wersching added a 45-yard field goal. That made the score 10-0. That ball game is now in the half. Chicago visiting Tampa Bay. Tampa Bay not giving anything to the Bears. John Rivedo, a 40-yard field goal, put the Bears on the board first. Then Bill Capice from Florida State got the Tampa Bay folks up on the board, the 46-yard field goal, tying the game at 3-all. Doug Williams then hit on an 81-yard touchdown pass to Jimmy Giles. That scored 10-3 in the third quarter at Tampa Bay. Down in the Dome in New Orleans, the Battle of New Orleans. Atlanta and New Orleans. Atlanta having no problems with the Saints. It's 24-10 at this point at the half. Manning having a pretty good day, a 48-yard touchdown pass to Guido Merkins, but Bartkowski came back with his own 48-yard touchdown pass to Alfred Jenkins. Then William Andrews added a 1-yard touchdown run, 24-10. That ball game at the half down in New Orleans, Atlanta leading. Seattle, Green Bay up at Lambeau Field in Green Bay. The score is 7-all. We're going to show you the second touchdown in that ball game. First touchdown was a John Harris interception return of 43 yards. Then David Whitehurst tossed a 7-yard touchdown to Paul Kaufman. That ball game 7-7 now in the second quarter. Many pro athletes must make adjustments once they leave the game. One man who's made a great adjustment after leaving pro ball is our very own Merlin Olsen.
Shake me up, man. Fix me up. Yep. A typical day would start about 7 o'clock in the morning with makeup, and of course you arrive on the set having already done your homework, studying your lines and making sure that everything is in the back of your head. You get here and of course would go to work rehearsing with other actors, having a chance to talk to the director, finding out exactly what he has in mind for the scene. Working on Little House is quite a bit different than working a live football game. We're working on film, so if we make a mistake, we can go back and reshoot. Of course, when we're live on the air with NFL football, we can't afford to make any mistakes. But there are some similarities. A lot of pressure, a lot of emotional performance, and certainly the need for sound preparation and the same kind of emotional sink at the end of the day. You really come away tired. But it's something I really do enjoy. It's challenging for me. It's exciting for me. Much different than the day I spend on the football games, but something that I enjoy doing and look forward to doing.
Merlin is a terrific guy to work with. He came into the show as I thought he would, a bit nervous initially, and should have been, I think. When you come into a series like this, it's like going into someone's home, and you're a visitor. And he worked hard and studied and worked and learned, and I really think that the public, and I know I can, and I'm sure most of the people out there can see a tremendous change in him in a very, very short period of time. I think Merlin has become a very interesting and solid performer. To me, he's very much like Dan Blocker. He's a very, very sensitive guy, a very unique man in the business. And I think that the public is going to see a lot more of Merlin Olsen.
Pull it quiet.
I hope you make the right decision.
Well, even if I never ran into Hastings again, I just couldn't stay here knowing she's married.
I really enjoyed my role as John Garvey on Little House on the Prairie, but now I've got an even more important role, a more challenging role, playing the role of John Michael Murphy on Father Murphy. John Michael Murphy is a prospector who ends up getting involved with a group of children who've been left disastered by an attack on their mining camp, and certainly has to accept the role of surrogate father and looks after these kids as if they were his own. It's a challenging role, one that needs a lot more out of me than did my role on Little House on the Prairie. The piece of film you're about to see is the film depicting the
Well, looks like Father Murphy is going to be a great show. Begins Tuesday at 8 on NBC, and I know Len and I will be watching. That'll help bring the ratings up, Len.
Well, that's